Alright, the next story quest and the last one for tonight is Good for the Soul, given to us by Beq Lugg. Beq Lugg? Beq Lugg? I'm just going to pronounce both separately for whatever reason. The Inn at Journey's Head is where we are in Amarang. Here we go, go, go. It is the same free company, the whole G. Windurst thingy, that I joined on a previous. I joined it on Ender Prince, which is my Lalafell Black Mage slash. I think he's also my summoner and thus my scholar, but I can't remember for sure. I don't think he has any melee jobs. I'm not sure I have him as a tank at all. I think I was maybe gonna make him a Dark Knight tank, but I don't know if I got that far with him. But anyway, I haven't been on him since I started making videos for this particular character. I've not played any other freaking character. None of the other 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I have like 6 other characters I have not played at all since I started these videos. But anyway, here's Beq Lugg. I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past, that I was once a mage of the royal court of Vobert, and that soulcraft was my field of study. The tonic you administered to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labors. I hoped to do great things for the kingdom. But in the end, my knowledge brought only suffering, a plague the like of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what should have been my greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. You mustn't dwell on the past, and now you have a chance to redeem yourself, or at least the Warriors of Light brought those responsible to justice. At least the Warriors of Light brought those responsible to justice. She didn't have to redeem herself. She can worry about that. Aye, that they did. I shudder to think what might have happened had they not. But let us return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we might revitalize these people's incorporeal ether. Do you think it can be done? Were the skies still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility. But now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for the ether revitalizing magics we will ultimately employ. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done, if it's all the same to you. Whatever reagents must be procured or spells invoked, I'll do it. Why is she so... I admire your spirit. Very well. Your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. The purest of waters and the finest of clays, as well as a fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. If you're convinced the resulting familiar could help the patients, fine. Alphino, the water and clay will be simple enough, but I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. You don't mean? The pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humor them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. He's thinking. Fine, we'll pay a visit to Ilmeg, though I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've been there at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. Oh, while you're about it, seek out the new Mao of Pla'eni. They will be able to supply you with water suitable for our needs. Right. Let's get this over with, shall we? There still remains the matter of the clay. Might I prevail upon you to find it? Sure. I thought I was going to have to go with the twins, and that was fine with me too, but sure, I'll clay it up. I'll clay it all day, all night, son. Talk to Beq Lugg again. Clay from Amarang would likely be best. Know you of anyone who might be able to assist us? Clay from miners seems weird. From the scavengers of Mordsuk, maybe not as weird. Well, there are the scavengers at Mordsuk. But you don't mine clay. It's not... Scavengers, you say? Well, they may know the lie of the land, but I dare say they are more interested in the trinkets and baubles hiding in the earth than the earth itself. Now, miners, on the other hand, stupid. Miners don't find clay. Okay, I could be wrong in reality, but whatever. Whatever. What's that? You know the miners of Twine? Perfect. Speak with them, and you should have no trouble procuring what we need. While you and the twins are occupied, I will see if there is aught else I can learn of the stagnation which afflicts the people here. Alright. Okay. Fine. To Twine I go. Although I still think that miners would have no reason to generally stumble upon clay, as clay is usually found where water meets soil, I think. That's what I thought I've learned from various videos and such, but whatever. I have to look this up. Like, what is clay? That's what I really should look it up. That's what we're gonna do. Hold on a second. Where... That's not how you spell that word. Where is clay found? Clay is a type of fine-grained natural soil material containing clay minerals. Oh, that's super helpful. It's a fucking roundabout. Most pure clay minerals are white or light colored, but natural clays show a variety of colors with impurities such as reddish or brownish, blah, blah. Good clay for pottery occurs naturally from the earth in regions where rivers and streams were once present, made up of years of sedimented mineral and organic matter. Even though the clay is fine and does not usually occur as a singular mass, it's a sedimentary rock. So where there used to be rivers? Interesting. I thought like I'd mostly seen you be getting it from the grounds that are still near rivers. Still... Oh, I gotta take one of my... Sorry, 1 second. Take the first of my... No. I'm not saying all the sleep medications that I take actually do anything, but they do better than nothing. I take one 10 milligram melatonin gummy or pill, whatever I happen to have found for the best price, at 7:30. I'm a couple minutes late. Fine. I take the next... I take a CBD... No, what's it called? Delta 9 THC gummy at 8. I take the next melatonin gummy for 10 milligrams at 8:15. And then I take a Costco brand, so Kirkland brand sleep aid that is doxylamine succinate, 25 milligrams at 8:30. And I still usually wake up around 2 a.m. after having received only about, at best, 5 hours of sleep, and then I struggle to fall back asleep for like 2.5 hours. Or 3.5 hours, fuck, like, whatever. Here's Magnus, back on track for this stupid quest. Cutscene. I'm sorry, the quest isn't stupid, I like these quests. Mercy, what a coincidence. Thaf says, you've come at a good time. We've just this moment finished repairing the Talos and trolley you lot took to Nabatharang. The trolley was no trouble, but the Talos would have been another matter had we not had a visit from Master Chai. He offered us a share of the leftover building materials from Daedalus Stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets to help us along. Clever man, that Chai knows. He seemed pretty keen on the ideas I had for putting the giant Talos to work, says Jarek. Like a giant trolley, but Magnus still refuses to see all the good we can do with it. They both turned to him. You are entitled to your dreams, Jarek, but that doesn't mean you can go harassing our guests with them. Master Chai was just being polite. And something tells me Mercy here didn't come all this way to talk about trolleys. What is it you need, friend? You explain after a nod. I see. And this familiar requires clay from Amarang. Well, look no further. If anyone can find you some quality clay, it's us. Saying that, it isn't exactly a commodity nowadays, but there must be some lurking somewhere or other, waiting to be dug up. If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Biren mines to make adobe bricks. Biren is one of the 2 Ronso that are vehemently against God damn it. Kamari, making it like becoming a full Ronso with his broken horn. You have Biren and Yankee, whatever. Place is swarming with coyotes now, but if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than just look there. I nod. Cutscene is over. Mount up. It's a cold dark bomb. We will fly in our jazz wolf to the east northeast. Now we're flying through the northeast. We are going over railroads. Gonna make clay in our roads. I don't know. Sorry. I shouldn't try to rap ever. Like, I'm okay with like if I have enough time, I can come up with some lyrics that are probably not good, but at the same time they're topical, general. Anyway, a big old red circle. We're flying around inspecting things within, hopefully mostly within it. Jeez, okay, it's not as big as I thought. That's what she said, unfortunately. Destination number 2. Getting clay for us. Me and you. Destination numero 3. Getting clay for all of our base. Why am I getting attacked for clay gathering? Could teleport for 100 gil and just be there already, but it's gonna be like 20 seconds of flying, so I'm not really worried about it. After this quest, I'll do 1 or 2 daily dungeons to get some more, what are they called, Allegan Tomestones of Poetics. To get a little bit, some more 530 gear. Get ready for Endwalker, a little bit more ready, not perfect, but a little bit more. Here's Beq Lugg, back at the healing place. The twins have returned in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixies would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament, but no. They both shrug. You have the clay, I take it? Alpha looks kind of tired. We hand over the 3 pristine clay bags. Wonderful. We need but combine the clay and the water, then heat the mixture with the Fey Lantern. After that, it will be a simple matter of settling upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. Beq Lugg, I have a question. In the event that we had need of this spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skill, yes. Halric and the others have suffered so much, and I swore to do everything in my power to save them. If there's a chance the spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Maybe you should be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state, combined with a strong desire to help them, can drastically increase the magic's effect. And you are plainly more familiar with these people than I. I dare say there are few in all of Norvrant more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so, Mercy? Absolutely. She's the best woman for the job. Or very few, but if aught should go awry, I'll see what I can do. Absolutely. She's the best woman for the job. I'll give it my all, for Haldrick, for Tesleen. Then we are all of a mind on the matter. Alisaie should be the one to conjure the familiar. Cutscene has started now. Alisaie is at a table with a plate, it looks like, in front of her. Haldrick is sitting across from her at the table in his usual chair.
Let us begin.
Oh, my voice for her is so far off. I'm so sorry. Let us begin.
I trust you've prepared the clay.
I trust you've prepared the clay. Okay, I could do that better next time. Sorry. Hopefully. I trust you've prepared the clay. She whips out like
Very good.
a big old hunk
Now,
of clay.
I would have you sculpt for me a porksy.
Oh, man. They're the little, like, flying pig creatures?
Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
Yep. I'll say
A
smiles
porksy. I think I know what you mean.
and nods before she says that. She gets to mold and the cutscene goes dark.
There we are. How's that?
I don't think that's what they've looked like when I've seen them. That looks more like a shy guy, but with a weird pig face.
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Oh, I love this twin. So good.
Yes, I'm no artist. Very funny.
He looks up into the side like, what?
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
Sure, yeah, sure. That's true. Sure, yeah, sure.
You're not helping.
Yeah, that didn't sound like it would.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the Porksy's image steady in your mind's eye.
Porksy needs to be in quotation marks in that sentence, but it's okay. It does look like a shy guy from Mario.
Now
but
then,
with a
as I
pig
taught
face.
you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
Definitely not a normal pig face like a fucking slanted. Alisaie closes her eyes. Reaches out to the quote-unquote Porksy.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the
Starts
skies.
to sparkle.
What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
It glows and turns into a normal-looking Porksy.
Not bad for a first attempt.
It's looking at Alisaie, and only Alisaie.
Now, let us see what can be done for young Halric.
Indeed. What can this flying pig thing do? Alphino kneels next to him and starts talking to Halric. Cutscene goes dark. Halric is standing. The Porksy still looking at Alisaie. Alisaie looking
Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
A name.
Halriki. Because of its purpose.
All right, I've decided. Now.
She brings a fist down in front of her face.
Go, Angelo!
And then the fist forward. The Angelo, the pork seed, glows for a second, does a little spin in the air, looks at Halric, and then blesses Halric with some kind of a light kind of spell. And Halric is kind of like faintly glowing white with little motes of blue moving around his body. He raises a hand to his chest where his heart might be, like basically sternum area. Still kind of no expression on his face, but that hand has moved. That's something. Eyes closed for a second. Eyes open wide. Starts to try to talk, it seems like. Looks over to Alisaie, and then around the room, or the...
Mother...
Eyes start to tear up and just stream tears. Drops his hand to his side. Back to catatonic state, though. That seems to be it for now. Cutscene goes dark. Okay. Cutscene talking to Alisaie for the turn-in. How is he, Beq Lugg? Did it work? I believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. If my eyes do not deceive, a hint of color has returned to his soul. Gods, I would jump for joy if I weren't so exhausted. He's still fucking not moving though, still super like catatonic. We're so close now, Halric. As you are even now in the process of discovering, this magic asks much of the invoker. What you may not have realized is that the same is also true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I will need time to put my theories to the proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect, that is, to induce stagnation, thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via Orisight. A thought occurred to me about this treatment. Beq Lugg said when the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does that not sound a lot like some of the tempered back in the source? Not really. It is the fate of most tempered to become slaves to primals, save in a handful of cases. Or am I missing something? She nods. If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such treatment. Gabu. Yeah. I'm not sure I follow is option 1. Gabu is option 2. Do you really think it could work is option 3. Gabu. Alisaie's like pet project. The Goblin. Exactly. His condition is uncannily similar to Halric's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was suffused with earth-aspected ether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him, right? Forgive me, but who is this Gabu fellow of whom you speak? You go in to explain. I see. His condition does sound similar, yet there is much and more about the soul that remains unknown even to me. I say this not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you that this is delicate work we do here, work requiring patience. Of course, and as long as there is hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time is needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend that time in idleness. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with their treatment. The two of you should return to the Crystarium with Beq Lugg and see if you can't make some headway with the newly posited theories. I would tell you to rest first, but I see you're not to be convinced. Ah, the fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium, then. Sorry. Finally, I found you, says a random voice. Not Lurik, but... Oh, Kaishir. Kaishir, what are you doing all the way out here? There's trouble back in Yulmore. Lady Chai's beside herself, sighing, pacing, the whole lot. Near enough begged me to go and find you. Sighing and pacing, you say? It must be urgent. I take it I will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go on, then. It's not as if I have anything for you to do. Thank you, Beq Lugg. Beq space Lugg. That's why I'm pronouncing it Beq Lugg. Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the future of Yulmore's at stake. Good for the Soul is complete, with no choices to make. All of my videos from now on will have one link that will go to my Google Drive document that has all of the items that I have purchased and enjoyed and recommend for others to purchase should they need an item similar to what I have purchased. If you use any of the links in my description to actually buy an item from Amazon, I'll get a small cut. It's the Amazon affiliate program. I will see you next time. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.